Hello guys, I hope you're doing as great as I am. I am doing great. It's another lovely day that the Lord has made. And personally, I've chosen to rejoice and be glad in it. I know my hair is looking all shaggy. I am a natural hair girl, so my hair is usually like this, whether I'm at home or at work. That is my hair. It is as natural as that anyway. But I think it's okay. So anyway, and the times are also hard, eh? Times are also hard. There's no money. There's no money. Everyone doesn't have money. But that is it. But that is on a light note. Anyway, it's a good day. I've been away for a while. I traveled to Naivasha for work. We had a ride shop for 1 week. But even as that was happening, I was also doing my first DIY project, which was making a shoebox. I'm trying to make a shoebox which I can put at my entryway. You know, the veranda. It's called the veranda. That's the name that we've been calling it since we were young. So I'll just say the veranda. It's a shoebox where guys can put their dusty shoes as they come in, so that we don't have those shoes inside the house. Neither should we have them outside where they can be rained on. So instead of them littering the space, can put them in the box, and later on they can be dusted and what have you. And this box also is supposed to serve as a bench. A bench where someone can sit as they polish their shoes, or as they change their shoes, or whatever it is you want to do. So that is what I'm making. It hasn't been easy. DIY is not easy. It is not easy. Sometimes when you watch videos, especially the Muzungu videos, it looks like it is easy stuff, but it isn't. Especially cutting wood. Cutting wood and hammering a nail into wood. It's not a piece of cake, but anyway, I am managing. And in this video, you're going to see some of the stuff that I've been doing. And as I was doing that, remember I told you guys I had a circular saw. I got scared of the circular saw. That thing is scary. It has teeth. It has menacing teeth. Anyway, I could not use it. So I had to go and get a hand saw, just to start using it, so that I don't chop off parts of my body, because I don't know how to use a circular saw. Anyway, it is a scary tool. Anyone who has tips on how I can overcome, please, you're welcome to share tips, because I want to overcome that fear. Anyway, also hammering nails. Sometimes you're hammering nails into wood and they just bend, and you have to pull them out and hammer in another one, pull it out, and you waste a lot of nails. So there are two things I'm thinking of buying. I'm thinking of buying a nail gun. I saw there's a gun which you actually just shoot nail into wood. How convenient. So I'm thinking of getting a nail gun, at least for my projects. Equally, I'm thinking of getting a jigsaw. A jigsaw is better than a circular saw. It is less scary. It is actually less scary. I think I saw it as I was window shopping. I saw it somewhere in one of the hardware shops where I bought the circular saw. But that day I wanted to buy the jigsaw. Then something told me the circular saw looked stronger, looked more capable. Lord, shock on me. I cannot even use the circular, so I'm scared of it. But anyway, it's something I'll overcome. I know I will overcome. I have to overcome. Nothing is too hard. Nothing is impossible. So I will overcome. Anyway, so like I told you, I was away in Naivasha for 1 week, but that work has been ongoing. And in this video, you're going to see what I've been doing. Now, I want to share with you about why I started this channel. This channel comes from far, and it has been something I've been thinking of doing, and just putting off, postponing, and thinking, is it really necessary? Do I really need a channel? What? You know, sometimes you just don't believe in yourself, and so you spend a lot of time watching what other people are doing. They're doing, and you realize, they are just doing the same things that I usually do. Maybe I should also get a channel just to record some of the stuff that I do. You never know, in future someone might bump upon it and it will help someone. So how did this channel come about? This channel, I actually started thinking about it during COVID time. You know, during COVID time, we were all indoors. Actually, COVID stepped in Kenya. It stepped. Did it step or appeared or occurred or happened in Kenya in March? It was March of 2020. Now, in that March of 2020, I was in a lab. I was in a big lab somewhere. I was working towards a doctorate degree. I was going to be Dr. Akwabi Mukolwe or something like that. You know, when people get PhDs, they dump their English names. So I was not going to be called Dr. Sarah Akwabi. I was going to be called Dr. Akwabi Mukolwe, the PhD, and I would be walking around with the title, doctor. But I think those were not God's plans, or maybe they are his plans, but for the future anyway. So that is what was happening. And then COVID happened, and I remember we had to vacate the lab. We vacated the lab, so we were told, go home, stay indoors, osha mikono. And so through all that time of osha mikono, it started in March. So in April, I was actually on a study leave. I work in government. So they don't call it study leave. They call it course approval. So I had been given 1 year of course approval so that I could spend it to do my research. And then the write-up, you can do it when you're back in office. So you're given 1 year for PhD if you're doing it inside the country. If you're going outside the country, they can give you 3 years, because you know outside the country, there is no way you can go and come back and go and come back. So they give you 3 years. That is how good government is. Despite the other challenges of working in government, that is a plus. Anyway, so I had been given 1 year. And in March, when COVID happened, I had only two months left to complete my course approval. But I still had a little work left, some little work left to do on the bench now before I could get into the writing. So we were told to leave. We had to leave the lab because anyway, after that, the labs, they were using the lab for some of the COVID tests, you know, those things that Mutahi Kagwe kept on reading. How many cases, new cases, old cases, deaths, and what have you. So that is what happened. So during that time, also at work, so in April, my course approval came to an end. So I was supposed to report back to work. But remember, COVID was still happening. So even at work, there was a list of designated people who had to be in office. In fact, the list was at the gate. You could not just go in. That is how serious guys were about COVID. I even wonder that nowadays we are just living and we are just okay, and no one is yapping around about COVID. But I'm not saying that COVID did not happen. It was there. It was serious. We still need to be careful. I just wonder why we are no longer as careful as we were. I don't know the dynamics of that virus, but maybe we got used to it. So even at work, we were not getting in. So we had to stay at home. And remember, we were also at home with the kids. And I think the kids stayed at home for 9 months. And so did we. We stayed at home, washing hands, shutting ourselves in so that COVID doesn't catch us. We were locking the gate and just staying here. No interaction with neighbors, no church, no whatever. So you can imagine how it was such a dark time. Remember, this doctorate that I was chasing, by the way, I'm still chasing it. At the right time, when it happens, I'm still chasing it. Anyway, so remember, I was from that space where I had seen this thing happening. Actually, I was even seeing myself in a graduation gown with that cap and my certificate in hand. And so when that could not happen, it left me feeling some type of way. Actually, I must say I was disappointed, I was discouraged, I was stressed, almost depressed. By the way, I was almost depressed. It was not fun. Anyway, but now from that space of being busy in science, you can actually sleep in the lab. Sometimes things just don't work, and so you are constantly busy, up and down, looking for solutions, looking for troubleshooting, trying to see, can this work this way? Can it work this other way? Can it work this other way? But now I am back in the house. Wake up in the morning, make breakfast, wash some clothes, clean the house, and then there is nothing else to do. And then we are there, we are seated, waiting, cook lunch, kids are clean, what not, then the evening. And so it was that way from day to day. And it is at this time that I started feeling like things were just not working. Things were not working. Now, during that COVID time also, as it was coming towards the end, I think, there were promotions at the workplace. We were all hopeful for promotion. We had actually overstayed at the same level for some time. So all of us were hopeful that we were going to be promoted to that next level. But now when the promotions happened, someone somewhere decided to promote people on the basis of their ages. That can happen in government, yes. On the basis of their ages. And so those of us who were below a certain age could not be promoted. We were left behind. So you can imagine. So I added that to this PhD that had stagnated. Nothing was moving. So that is according to me. And I refused to see that other things were actually happening. We were healthy. We were eating. Other people had lost jobs. I was getting a salary, staying at home. So I refused to see that. And I chose to see that which was not happening. That is the PhD and the promotion. And so it was a very dark part. And so I think at some point in life, all of us, there reaches a point where you have to call yourself for a meeting and realize that if I keep going the way I'm going, nitaambulia pabaya, niliona nilienda kuambulia pabaya. So I decided maybe there are things I need to be concentrating on just to keep myself busy, keep my mind out of all this stuff that was happening, that all the negative stuff that was happening. And so it is during that time that I started gaining a keen interest in gardening. Okay, I've always loved gardening. Yeah, you garden, you get your food, and you are happy that you're eating food. But at this time, I decided, let me be more serious. And let me tell you guys, during COVID, I never bought vegetables. Ati dania, kitunguu, sukuma wiki, spinach, sageti, managu. I never bought. That is how well it worked. And that just clicked something in my mind that despite the things that are not working in your life, there is something that is working. God cannot just deny you everything. He cannot just say, press the wait button on everything. There must be something that He allows to move forward. So, whatever point you are in life, if you're feeling like maybe things are not working, there must be something that is working. You're just not keen enough to identify that this is working, or you're ignoring it, or you're feeling like it is not a very useful part of your life. Now, another thing that I learned during COVID time was that there are things around us. Sometimes you want to make your space beautiful. You want to maybe you are thinking of putting a shelf somewhere, hanging a picture somewhere, and you realize all these small things you have to call a fundi. You call a fundi for this, you call a fundi for that, you call a fundi for this and a fundi for that. And these people require money. There isn't a lot of money going around right now. So some of these things I realized maybe it is time I learned how to do them so that I can be doing it myself. Yeah. And so that is why I decided I'm going to be doing this DIY journey. And so I've been doing a lot of things. I do a lot of things. I've been doing a lot of things. But then I just do and it ends there. Then I thought, maybe I need to have a YouTube channel, because during that season, actually YouTube is what was keeping some of us going. When you're bored, you just go to YouTube, you watch how things are done, you watch. I learned about investment during that time. I had never known that people can invest in bonds. I don't know, treasury bills, treasury bonds, money market funds. I learned all those things on YouTube during the COVID time. We had a lot of time on our hands. So I thought maybe I need a channel where I can also be recording the things that I do. You never know, because I learned from something that someone else did. Maybe in future someone else can happen upon this channel and learn something, one thing or two. that can help them move to the next stage in their lives. And so that is why I decided to start this channel. So I've been postponing it for a while. I usually say, I'm starting the channel. Then I say, let me wait. Will I even get subscribers? Will people even watch? There are better things that people have to watch. But who said that this is not a better thing for someone somewhere? So if you're watching this, I'm hoping you are learning something. Maybe from the things I'm saying or from the things that I'll be doing in this channel. So, talking of timing, God or whoever it is that you believe in, I believe in God. I believe God exists, and I believe He has a plan for each and every one of us. So, at His own time, at His own appointed time, He always makes things beautiful if you trust. So, I told you about the promotion. I've just mentioned about the promotion. So, last week, we were going to Naivasha. Now, we traveled to Naivasha on Tuesday morning. Monday was a holiday. Is it Utamaduni or Huduma? I still cannot tell what that day is called. Some people are saying it is Utamaduni Day. Some people are calling it Huduma Day. So everyone seemed to be confused. So maybe we need to join the two names and call it something like Hudumaduni or Huduma. Hudumaduni fits better. So maybe we can call it something like that. But whatever it is you choose to call it, just call it whatever it is. But it was Utamaduni or Huduma Day or Hudumaduni. But that was the day. So on Tuesday, we traveled to Naivasha. We were having a ride shop. Sometimes in science, you have to step away from your everyday life, from your everyday distractions. You go to a place where you can concentrate, read the papers, do thorough research, and come up with documents. So we were doing some documents for the lab. And so we had to be away, where you carry homework to your room, you work on it overnight, come in the morning, present, you are corrected, you are all those things until finally when you leave that place, you have a document that can actually be presented to someone. So that is what we were doing in Naivasha. So we were in Naivasha for a whole week doing that. But when we got to Naivasha, so our sessions were starting on Tuesday morning. When I got into the room, I took out my phone. Out my phone to put it on silent mode so that it doesn't act as a distraction. Now, I switch on the phone, I see an email. Now the email is from our office staff. My hair, ooh. The email was from our office staff. And the title of the email was promotions. So I was like, promotions. I thought this thing had already gone with the wind, because personally I'd said, whatever. If they feel like we don't need promotions, let them stay with their promotions. That was my attitude. I give up that easily anyway. So I opened the email, and to that email there were 3 attachments. These 3 attachments were letters of promotion. Guys, letters of promotion. And then I was like, someone must have forgotten these letters somewhere. Maybe they were old letters that someone has just happened across and decided that these letters were not shared, so let me share them. But then I decided, let me look closely. And lo and behold, they were promotion letters to those of us who had been left when the promotion was done. So at his right time, at his right appointed time, God always makes things happen for you. So there might be something that you want really, 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 really bad, like myself with the promotion and the PhD. But God decided that you need to wait. Who knows? Maybe He has a better plan. Or maybe at this time, you will not appreciate that thing as much as you will at the time that He will give it to you. So be patient. So I've learned to be patient. I've learned to be really, really patient. But even as I'm patient, it doesn't mean that I'm doing nothing. So I have to be doing something. And that is why this channel is here. So I've been working on this shoebox, and I'm going to share There's a lot that I've learned in this process, you people. First of all, I've learned how to cut wood using a hand saw. Yeah. I bought a circular saw. And I think I showed you guys. I showed you guys my circular saw. But now, anytime I hold this circular saw and I want to plug it in, I usually just see this saw cutting through my hand, and I just put it away. I've never used it. I've never even switched it on to know how the teeth go round, because I'm really scared. I've developed a fear of that tool. So if you're there and you have tips on how I can overcome that fear, please do share and rescue a girl here, because I've never used it, and at this rate I might not use it if I'm not careful. But I'm very careful. I want to learn how to use it. I want to overcome that fear. So please share. And if someone out there can coach me through, I'll appreciate. Another thing I learned is how to drive nails into wood using a hammer. It is not as easy as it usually looks. It isn't easy. I just realized it's not easy. And I've wasted so many nails, because when I'm hitting the nail, it bends. I have to pull it out and throw it away. Pull another one and throw it away. So it is not easy, but I have managed. So far, I have managed. So there are two things that I'm thinking of obtaining once I get money. If God blesses me with money, a jigsaw. These are so-called a jigsaw. When I get it, I'll show you guys. These are so-called a jigsaw. It is less menacing compared to the circular saw, because the blades are actually smaller, and it doesn't look very intimidating. So it's something I'm thinking of getting. And the advantage of a jigsaw is that it can actually cut curves. You can cut a curve. A circular saw only cuts straight lines. So I purpose to get a jigsaw because of my fear of the circular saw. And a hand saw is also hard to use, especially for someone like me. I don't have very huge muscles, even though I am a well-built lawyer. Anyway, so I need a jigsaw. Another thing I need is a nail gun. I saw there is a gun which people just use to drive nails into wood. How cool can that be? Claiming these pieces of wood from a 3x6 bed that I had. So I want to repurpose this wood, to reuse it, to make a box for shoes. A box for shoes. So I'm sanding the wood just to make it smooth. And I'm putting on a mask because it's very dusty. So I'm sanding the wood. This is ready, and I've been doing this for a while now. So I have some pieces which are ready here, a good number of them. So I'm just going through them to see the places that are rough. So this is the place that I want to make. You can see how the shoes look terrible over here. We usually just heap them up in a basin. The gumboots are there. And this is the entrance to the house. So that is the door. That is outside. That is the door. As you come in, you are met by shoes. A whole basin of shoes and gumboots just lying here. So this is what I want to repair. This situation here. So as you can see, it doesn't look very good. But I'm now working on it. We want to make it look better than this. After discussing with my stakeholders, we've agreed that the height of the shoebox should be 1.5 feet. That is 1.5 feet from the floor, so that even the little girl can sit on it as she does her thing. So now we are cutting the wood, so we need to cut 1.5 feet, pieces of 1.5 feet. Then I'll do sanding for those ones and see how we go forward. So I'm unwrapping my spirit level just to make sure as I cut everything is straight. Where is the pencil? So I'm marking where I'll be making my cut, so that I'm cutting these 3 feet pieces of wood into halves. So halves of the 3 feet. So I'm doing the measurements and cutting for the cutting. So measure. Where's my pencil? Where have I put my pencil?
Yeah, down. Down. Yeah, down. Yeah.
Kidogo. Tuko kidogo baba. Songa. Unaona? 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 Sami, saidia wewe kushika. Inacheza sana. Sikia kwa karibu. Sai.
Utupapiuke ya Mungu mpate Dapat isi hata inapiga kelele. Shika hii moja. Pepa sawa. Mami.
Sasa hana.
Furaha yake bingu hapatiki kitu chema vile vile yapata maombi yake maombi hupenda maji uongozi wangu katika kuwa Mungu wawe nanyi daima. Menda miss.
Menda miss? Umeiona? Mwenye menda basi?
Siweke hivyo. Weka hivyo. Hivi ingise lingine hivyo. Hivyo.
Hizo lingine iko hivyo. Hizo lingine ikashika nini rangi ya rata tukipaka juu imekuwa. Tumefanya sanding. Kama hii ndio inasumbua sababu. Wapi kwa moja?
Leta msimari.
Mbona igongeki? Nenda miss. Sio miskubwa. Sidi ingine. Msumari? Mepasuka? Tutaongeza msumari.
Zaidi ni ndogo ndogo sana.
Hatutumii ndogo sana.
Toka hapo. Toka hapo.
Guys, I know you can't see me, but this is what I wanted you to see. That is the progress with the shoebox. So far, so good. You can see the place is already looking neater. The basin that was here full of shoes is no longer here. We had to take it outside. The gumboots that were littering the floor in this space, they are no longer here. They are away. So you can see the shoes are already in the box. The shoes are in the box. Although the box is not complete, it's still hollow. I still need to put a base and the lid. So, and then painting. I need to do painting. So I'll paint it white. So on top of it, I'll put a white MDF board. At the bottom, I think I'll use plywood so that it's not very heavy. So I'll use a plywood at the bottom. Then on top of it, the lid will be MDF board, a white one. Then I'll paint the whole thing white. And I think I'll fasten the nails that are loose, because there are some nails that are still loose. Like I told you, driving nails into wood is not an easy thing for me, but so far so good. You can see it looks better, much better than it was before. So the next time I'll be showing you, I think it will be complete, but that is my first project. It's a simple thing that anyone can do, and I've done it. So that is how it will be looking like. No more mess around this place. To look much better. Then I think once it's done, at either end of it, I'll put a flower pot, a flower vase or a flower pot, depending on which one I'll find suitable. I'll put at the end. Then in front of it, I'll put a mat. Sometimes when they polish their shoes, you find a lot of shoe polish stains on the floor. So I think in front of it, I'll put a mat, a dark colored mat, so that I avoid having to clean this floor with this turpentine every other time to get rid of the shoe polish marks. But that is the shoe box. So far so good. I think it will look good. So keep it here for how it will go after this. Thank you.